Thank you very much, Amanda. I think I know everyone. I'm Tricia, your CEO. And just want to say, I hope you're all having a great evening. It seems so much lighter out now, so it doesn't seem like it's 7 o'clock at night. Got to keep up with the fact that we're coming up to the longest day of the year very soon. I wanted to let you know that there are a couple things we are working on. I'm going to go back to the gallery. Given the fact that, one, as many of you know, the CDC changed travel restrictions and guidance over the weekend. And what you would need to do if you are traveling internationally. So I am getting a real feedback loop. So I don't know if everyone else can put you on mute. That way we don't have the feedback loop. That would be great. Thank you. But the CDC has lifted the requirements that you must test negative before you can travel back to the US when you're traveling internationally. So given that information and what the latest CDC guidance is, we are going to be modifying our travel requirements as well, and we'll be removing the requirement that you must have be fully vaccinated in order to travel internationally. So you will be seeing some language coming out around that very soon, but I wanted to give you all a heads up on that. I don't think we have anyone on this group traveling internationally or planning something this summer. Oh, Tammy is. I know many of us are personally planning on travel, but I don't know how many are doing it for the Girl Scouts. But so we are going to change that for your Girl Scout troops when you're traveling and making some changes there. The other is we've gotten a lot of feedback about or information. We've had conversations at the national level around girls or Girl Scouts participating in demonstrations, marches, which take place across the country. There's a lot of activity and voices being raised by individuals expressing their opinions, which is wonderful. And we fully support girls using their voices to advocate for issues that they care about. But we do want to make it really clear that when a girl is going to, or a troop is going to a protest, a march, a demonstration, or is speaking at any of those events, that they're not actually speaking on behalf of the Girl Scout organization. They are speaking on behalf of themselves. And so we are letting you all know that we are encouraging, we ask that girls and troops not wear their Girl Scout uniforms or a Girl Scout t-shirt if they're participating in marches or parades or protests, unless it's linked to a Take Action project. So if a girl is doing this as part of a bronze, a silver, or gold award, or a journey, that is something else. We've often had girls in very sensitive issues who are wearing their uniforms in those events, but we are aware that we have members on all sides of every issue out there, and it's my job to make sure we're sensitive to those. Also, troops or service units, you can't carry banners that have the Girl Scout insignia, the trefoil on when you're marching in a parade or a protest. I mean, a parade is fine. When you're marching in a protest or you're engaged in any sort of demonstration. And we know that there's a lot of that going on. We ask you as our volunteers to just be very cognizant of the fact that we're not living in the safest society when it comes to marches and protests right now. And so just be very cognizant of that. But we'll be releasing full instructions or rules. A council that has it very well written and very simplified is Nation's Capital, if you're looking at going there. And if anyone is planning on getting on a bus or in a van with their Girl Scout troop and planning to go to Nation's Capital for any national protests or marches, please let me know so I can notify them. They want to make sure they're aware if large numbers of Girl Scouts are showing up for anything, but they have it very simplified. So just wanted to let you know that that's out there. We're working on it. I know Carrie and her team are going to be putting it up on the website, and we'll send it out in announcements, but I wanted to share all of that with you. And otherwise, I think the staff has lots of different information to share. We're going to be here to answer any questions you might have along the way. And just thank you for all that you're continuing to do. And I hope you're having wonderful bridging ceremonies and end of year celebrations as we look towards summer activities in the fall. So thank you all. So Amanda, I'm turning it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Tricia. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will go ahead and get started today. So the first thing we'll start with today is going to be me. So I'm going to go over and review some of our membership numbers and items like that. So away we go. So as of right now, our My 22 membership numbers, which is the current membership year, we are looking at over almost right under 6,000 girls and well over our expected number of adults. We've had very good participation this year with bringing in and our adults renewing. And we've also added well over 2,000 new girls in this year, which is an incredible feat compared to the last couple of years. So your recruiters and all of the volunteers have worked very hard to get us to this point. We really appreciate it. And as far as our My 23 numbers, these would be our renewals for the upcoming membership year. We are right on target and doing very well. We've already got well over 1,800 girls that have renewed for next year, as well as well over 2,100 adults that have renewed for next year. So we're all getting in there. We're having a really good retention rate as of right now. And of course, I see no reason why that won't continue to happen. And again, that is all because of the volunteers and our recruitment teams that are out there working very hard every day to help give the girls their best experience and to spread the word about how wonderful the Girl Scout experience is. Next, I'm going to do a real quick update on our online giving that was going on with New Hampshire Gives last month. Overall, there was over 500 nonprofits that participated in the New Hampshire Gives platform. We had a goal of 5,000 and a board match of 3,000. We raised a total revenue of over $2,300 with an overall of over 5,300 with approximately 35 donors. That was absolutely wonderful. And we did great. We appreciate everyone, of course, that donated. On next, I believe we are going to be going to Tammy Downing for a recruitment update.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and I hope you can all hear me. Okay, so in recruitment, I did have a meeting with VSCs earlier, and if you weren't included or if you weren't able to come, we can always have a one-to-one meeting at any time. That's fine. But I just wanted to give you a few things that we have coming up here. Yes, service teams out in the field can run recruitment events. What is a recruitment event? A recruitment event it could be an information night, just a general information night, letting future participants know that there are Girl Scout opportunities. We have 2 different council designed events that we offer. It's kind of like a recruitment in a bag, so to speak. And so these are called, one is called the Teddy Bear Tea, and the other is called a paint party. And I will be sending this out to all the VSCs and service teams and whoever else would like it. I'll send out those PDFs to whoever wants those in the coming days. We're getting a few things updated on both of those right now. So as soon as those updates come through, we'll get those out to you. And finally, for service team recruitment events, we have the good old fashioned Discover Girl Scouts, where we literally have a recruitment event during a meeting that is already in progress. The girls go over and they talk, they do the activities with the scouts, and the adults are on the other side of the room, maybe the next room over, talking about what opportunities are available and hopefully sign up their girl. Next slide, please. And then we also have these tabling events. The difference between a regular event, like on the previous slide, and this type of an event, these are things that are being planned outside of Girl Scouting. These are things that we're invited to go and attend. and have a table. So that's why we call it a tabling event. We have a lot of different tabling events coming up over the next few weeks, months. I mean, we have right now that next to the last one where it says National Night Out, that's on August 2nd this year. And as of this morning, we had 25 communities that are taking place in this National Night Out event, which means I need 25 volunteers in 25 different communities minimum to make that program a success. But other things are, especially the open houses, that is the gold standard for getting us prospective members. But any other things, a lot of you have asked me to join a lot of these things. We do what we can. We are a small but mighty team. But anything from county to local fairs, old home days, family fun days, touch of trucks, farmers markets, anything that you can think of. If you know of something and you're unable to do it yourself, just let us know and we'll see what we can do on our end. And we also have a new, if you're going to be planning a recruitment event, we have a JOT form that we're going to be sending out that link to for you to ask for flyers and swag and things like that that you'll need for these events. All right, and I think that's it for me. So I'm going to send it back over to Amanda.
Thank you, Tammy. I believe up next we have the other Amanda Powell with volunteer support.
Thanks, Amanda. I am ready for the next slide. Thanks, Amanda. So just wanted to go through a few quick reminders for everybody. June is our last month for those early renewal incentives. So any girls that renew in June can attend the Girl Expo for free. And that'll be held in Bedford this year as we kick back into the Girl Expo for the first time since COVID. Very exciting. You can renew online right at girlscoutsgwm.org and go into your MyGS tab, log into your account, and you can renew right from there. Or you can call customer care for assistance at 888-474-9686. And they're available from 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. Next slide, please. And part of renewing our girls, you may have seen a reminder in your email today. Troops are going to open up for new girls to join on July 1st. Just as a reminder, we don't maintain a wait list and we don't hold spots. So troops will be expected to welcome new girls if they join before the returning girls in their troop register. We won't be removing new girls from the troops if they join before the returning girls. This helps us to ensure that there is a troop available for every girl that would like to join Girl Scouts and make new friends. If your girls can't renew before July 1st, just make sure that you reach out to us in volunteer support through customer care, and we can temporarily take your troop out of the participation catalog to give your girls a little more time to renew before we put it back in there on October 1st. Next slide, please. And to prepare your troop for early renewal, what you want to do is, again, like we talked about earlier, go to girlscoutsgwm.org under the MyGS tab, go into your account, and then click the troop tab so that you can see your troop roster. That'll let you see everyone's membership status. So you can check on which girls have renewed and which haven't. Just give the troops some periodic reminders about renewal just to make sure that that's staying in their brains as they get ready for summer and have some good fun plans together. Want to ensure that your meeting details are correct under the MyGS tab. And if your meeting location has changed, or you're going to change your meeting time, again, just reach out to us through customer care so we can get that updated for you. And you want to make sure too that your troop size meets minimum expectations. So for example, a troop that has daisies is open to a minimum of 12. If you need a smaller troop size, just make sure that you're contacting volunteer support for that because we will be renewing that as we kick into the new Girl Scouts year. And as always, any questions, reach out to volunteer support. You can email customer care or give us a call and they'll get you right through to us. Next slide, please. And then I just have some quick updates for you on year-end financials. So don't forget, year-end financials are due June 30th. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks here. You can find everything that you need for the financials on our website. So once you're at girlscoutsgwm.org, you're going to hold your mouse over the volunteer tab and click Troop Packet. And that's going to bring you right all the way in there. And there's a section called Running Your Troop Year. And all of that information is right in that section. So it has a guide that'll walk you through how to use the volunteer toolkit to submit your financial report. The financial report itself is right in there. It's an Excel spreadsheet and also a Google Drive version if you need that. And we also have training available on GS Learn. So if you head over back to your My Account tab, see the left-hand menu, you will see the GS Learn, click in there, and right on your dashboard, you'll see the Troop financial trainings. I would suggest watching both Finance 101 and 102. 102 focuses on the financial report, and 101 has some more general financial information. Next tab, please. And finally, we're getting ready for some summer fun as we get into June here and the school year wraps up. So just make sure you're communicating your summer plan with your troop. Lots of troops do different things. Maybe you're going to continue to meet as usual over the summer. Maybe you don't meet at all. Maybe you meet once a month, depends on what you're doing. Just make sure that the troop families understand that so that they know what's going on. Especially remembering too that new families will be joining over the summer, and just to kind of clue them in on what your plans are. So, you know, hey, we're only going to be meeting once a month during the summer, and then starting in October, we're going to get back to meeting weekly or bi-weekly. You want to make plans to keep in touch if the troop won't be meeting, whether it be you have like a group Facebook where you periodically post some photos of what you're doing, you know, with your girl, or encourage the families to post pictures of what they're doing so they can all share and talk about that. Sending postcards to the girls in your troop. I'm sure they would be really excited to hear from you over the summer. Just making sure you're keeping in touch, doing some periodic updates. Just to make sure that they're still thinking about Girl Scouts and getting excited for a fun new year kicking off. A fun thing you can do is issue Girl Scout challenges each month to make sure they stay engaged. So like, for example, with July, the month of July coming up, and lots of Independence Day parades and events, challenging the girls to like wear their best and help with some cleanup, or wear their best and take some pictures at an event they go to with their families. So they can share that and still be thinking about Girl Scouts. You want to make sure that you review your safety activity checkpoints, which again, right in that troop packet. So on our website, go into volunteer and click troop packet, and safety activity checkpoints is right up top. So anything you could possibly want to do with your girls, from swimming in a lake to fishing to horseback riding to going to a water park, there's lots of great information in there about how to run those activities safely. And finally, make sure you take lots of pictures and send them to us at council, because we love to see what you're up to with your girls. And that's all I have. So Amanda, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you. And I believe next we are over to program and properties.
Thanks, Amanda. If you want to change the slide for us. Thanks so much. So I'm Karen Martin. I'm your Director of Program and Properties, and this is our team. You've met them all before. We changed back to our photos of summer and springtime. So go ahead and change that next slide. So here's some great photos of the Ready, Set, Go camping that we just offered with bowls. We had 130 Girl Scouts, and I think there were 23 adults who qualified in bowls in the same weekend. So they learned everything from how to carry their luggage to their unit, to how to put up tents, to how to play flashlight tag. It was a great weekend. So once our Girl Scouts are a little older, they can go to the Outdoor Adventure Weekend, which is coming up in September. So just a reminder that registration for that weekend is open now. It's a great event because our Girl Scouts can come as individuals, or they can come with their troop. So Girl Scouts who don't necessarily have an adult who wants to come and camp for the weekend with them can come. We supervise them sort of summer camp style in a unit with some staff. And then this is open to Cadet, Senior, and Ambassador weekends. And because it's happening in September, we also open the registration to Girl Scouts who are currently in 5th grade. So they would be 6th graders in September, although not quite cadets until October 1st. So we've opened that to there. So our next slide, please. Here's some photos of the new backpack trail that's being built at Camp Seawood. So it's going through the back 40, which you can see it is a bit wet. So there's some really low maintenance, fun bridges that are built with sticks layered over them so that we can walk through those wet areas and those will dry out. And then a photo of the beginning of what we hope to be a suspension bridge over the really wet section that's about knee deep there. So we worked both with the local DES and the town of Portsmouth to make sure that we weren't violating any rules for building through the wetland. And because we're not altering the structure of how the water flows, and because the trail is there for enjoyment of our Girl Scouts, they let us build these sort of platforms and then the part that will be suspended over them. So this will be finished within a couple of weeks. We've already had some Girl Scouts go out and try the new trail. It comes with a primitive campsite so that our Girl Scouts who are just learning to have primitive backcountry camping experiences can go ahead and have that experience right at Seawood. So of course that requires some great training for our staff, our volunteers too. So outdoor training, basic outdoor leadership skills or bowls, that blended class is coming up in September at Camp Farnsworth. The advanced outdoor leadership skills, which is what you would need in order to teach that backpacking loop trail and a primitive overnight, is coming up also in September at Camp Farnsworth. And this year it will be a canoe qualification. Most of you know, I think, that it switches back and forth. Last year it was a backpacking trip. This year it's a canoeing overnight. So volunteers will also get the boating qualification as part of that training. And then there'll be an archery qualification as well. So this archery qualification lets you use GSGWM equipment on our properties to teach archery to our Girl Scouts. So it does not include the USAA qualification that costs quite a bit more and is quite more of an extensive training that would let you teach archery other places. So this is just for volunteers who are working with our Girl Scouts, our equipment, our properties. So those are coming up and registration's open right now. One big thing to remember about the outdoor trainings, Outdoor Adventure Workshop, fully online, qualifies volunteers to camp for one night. Bowls is what you need for multiple nights or any developed campground. So if you want to camp at a public campground, you would need bowls for that. And then Advanced Outdoor Leadership is the backcountry camping. They're not prerequisites one for the other. You can start with Advanced Outdoor Leadership skills if you believe that your skills are at that level. You don't need to go through all of them. They're kind of repetitive with the basic skills. So take the training for what you intend to lead. Can you go ahead and change that slide for us? All right, so these pictures are of the tree milling. So you've heard me talk about, we've had some trees removed because they were dangerous. They were infested with ants. They were starting to rot. They were leaning over buildings. And the straight and good sections of those trees, most of them were cut up into rounds and then split into firewood in a full day of firewood splitting fun. And the larger sections, we actually had a tree mill come in and mill those planks for us. So there are new fire circle benches at Kettleford. And there are new fire circle benches going into Twin Hills, and then some will be moved to Seawood. The remainder will go to Farnsworth, but Farnsworth will probably have tree milling next year. So we just thought it was a really cool thing to show if you've never seen a portable tree mill come in and how we cut those trees down. It's pretty exciting into planks. So obviously we were very safe, but first aid and CPR training is also coming. So we keep talking about first aid and CPR training, and what we're finding is that we have some volunteers who are willing to teach the class from time to time. So if you manage to connect with them, then that's great. You have that great opportunity to take a class at a very low cost from those volunteers who are doing that, but that we're not necessarily serving in a regular basis, all of our volunteers in all of our council. So what we've done is work with local vendors of first aid and CPR, and that also includes the AED operation. And we're setting up classes for the next year in different places. So you'll notice the class is a little bit more expensive than you might have paid with your volunteers. And that's because we're working with a vendor. In some cases, the vendor class cost is actually higher than that, and we're absorbing that cost to provide first aid and CPR on a regular basis for our volunteers. So coming next, we're working with a vendor in the Portsmouth area. And then we've worked with a volunteer in Burlington, Williston. We were very close to having dates and they backed out of it. So now we're working with a different vendor. So those dates will be coming soon. You'll find them on the activities page on our website. And then we also are working with vendors rather, to offer a class or two in the Brattleboro sort of area, and then the Franklin, New Hampshire area as well. So our goal is to have regular classes that you can expect are coming in multiple areas throughout the council, so that every volunteer has access to this class. Of course, if you have other access to first aid and CPR, you're absolutely welcome to continue taking those classes there. But this is just one more way that we're trying to sort of defray that cost and make it easier for volunteers to take the classes for their benefit and the benefit of our Girl Scouts. And I think I have one more slide. So this photo is really exciting. This is the prototype trebuchet that Josh up at Farnsworth has created for us for the Badge Blast pumpkin toss engineering. So we can successfully toss a tennis ball the length of the field. So we're pretty excited about this trebuchet. We think we have about the right size and strength to toss a pumpkin pretty far. So this is a great event for Brownie juniors and cadets. It's all about engineering. So the trebuchet for engineering, every group will build their trebuchet and then toss their pumpkin to see how far they can get it. They will build cardboard boats to race on the lake. So all different kinds of engineering challenges. This event is open for girls to come with their favorite adults, or if a troop wants to come. So we'll have different sections of sort of competition of how far we can toss our pumpkins. And then some other great events, Observe the Moon Night, the How to Catch a Unicorn for our Daisy and Brownies events. There's online baking programs, and then our Bronze Award project council-wide for Happy Birthday Juliet, which will happen in October. So lots of great events this summer and then into the fall. And I think that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. So I believe next we are up to Christine Jones.
Thank you, Amanda. We can go ahead and move to the next slide. And we have a little video we want to share with everybody. I don't seem to be able to make it play. Amanda, do you mind seeing if you can hit play? Oh, there we go. Thank you. So this video here is a great example to see some of all the different activities that will be available to girls at our expo. And just a reminder again about some of the basic information. So it will be happening. Oh, that's interesting that the date just changed. I don't know why that happened. We can absolutely share this video out, Isabel. We can do that. So the date is, we'll make sure we get the correct date to stay. I don't know why the date changed suddenly, but it is going to be Sunday, October 16th, 2022 at the New Hampshire Sportsplex in Bedford. We are well on track with recruiting volunteers. We're going to have over 80 exhibitors with hands-on activities for the girls to do. Both of our product sales vendors will be there. So Little Brownie with cookies and Ashton Farm with fall products, as well as lots of other different vendors. It is $5 per person. However, if girls renew during the month of June, they'll get that free ticket to come to the expo. And this is a great event, again, for troops, but also for girls to come with their family and experience everything that Girl Scouts has to offer. And if we can go on to the next slide. Again, just a little bit more information about the expo. It is open to everyone. It will be happening from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You don't have to stay the whole time, but I think you will find that there are plenty of activities to fill the whole day for your troop or your family. You can go on our website under the activities page, and there is a Girl Expo page that we are updating with all the different exhibitors that are coming out. And so that is definitely a great site to keep an eye on, and make sure you're encouraging girls in your troops in your communities to come check out this event. It's going to be a great way to kick off the next Girl Scout year. And we'll go ahead to the next slide. And I just wanted to share some of the different vendor programs that we have coming up. Karen's team offers some great programs put on by our staff. And then Paula works with different vendors across the 2 states to provide other programming opportunities for our girls. And so we just wanted to share some of those activities. They are up on the activities calendar as well, with all the programs that the outdoor team is doing. And these are just kind of a start, working with vendors. It does take a little bit longer for, us to find dates that work for everybody. So here's some events that will be happening in September and October. And then if we move to the next slide, please. Lots of different events for different age levels happening throughout November. Some happening in person, some happening online, different things like that. Everything from, finding your voice and mechanical engineering for cars, to a look at the night sky. And then I think I have one more slide. And so just a look of some things that are coming into January. So I focused on the months of September to January. There will be programs into the spring as well. And this is also just the start of some of our programs for the fall. There will be more and more added to the activities calendar. So make sure that's something that your troop keeps an eye on throughout the year. And I think that is actually all I have, Amanda.
Thank you. And we are to the point in our evening where we go to breakout rooms. We're going to have a couple different breakout rooms for everyone tonight. We're going to have one for the VSCs and the new leaders together, as well as one for program and properties and one for recruitment. I am going to go ahead and open these rooms. When I open these rooms, you'll be able to select which room you want to go to down at the bottom of your screen. And of course, if you are having problem locating the button or need some assistance, just let us know. We can move you into whichever room you'd like to be in. So I'm going to go ahead and open those rooms now.